This video is for those who are selling or would like to start selling in different marketplaces and channels across the world, because here we'll be showing the demo of Merchant Spring. It's a software which helps e-commerce business owners to aggregate data from different marketplaces. And it's not only Amazon, it's a lot of different marketplaces in different regions and countries. My guest is James. He's the co-founder of this software, and this is a part of the video series which we call Demo Mondays, where we invite different Amazon and e-commerce software creators, and we ask them to present their product just like this on the screen. And as I said, today our guest is Merchant Spring. Hello, James. It's nice to have you here. Could you please tell us what is Merchant Spring and how does it help Amazon sellers?
Thanks, Augustus. Merchant Spring is essentially a software platform that's designed to help not only Amazon sellers, but marketplace sellers in general, but certainly it helps Amazon sellers understand more about their Amazon Seller Central sales performance, globally, domestically, and really any market around the world through a simple to use dashboard.
All right. And usually I ask Amazon software creators what marketplaces software covers, but in your case, it's much more broader, right? So you are targeting also more, not only Amazon sellers. So could you explain in what countries your software could be used?
Yeah, so I mean, I could talk for hours on that, but the platform is really, it connects to over 100 marketplaces around the world. So that's everything from, Decathlon in Belgium to, Walmart in Mexico to Best Buy in Canada to, eBay in Australia. So it's all around the world. So the breadth is really achieved through having the ability to connect to any Amazon marketplace in the world. So that's, Amazon Turkey, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, etc. Plus any eBay marketplace in the world. That's the full spectrum of eBay markets. And then part of the other connectors is based on the Miracle platform. So the Miracle marketplace infrastructure is, as you and your viewers probably know, is a French piece of marketplace software that marketplace owners put their branding on. So through having a Miracle connector, it actually allows us to connect to the roughly 60-ish marketplaces. Now, on top of that, we also connect to Walmart. So all the Walmarts, I think it's Walmart Canada, Mexico, and US. We also connect to a number of fashion marketplaces under the Global Fashion Group business. So that's, for example, in Australia, that's called The Iconic. And alongside of that, our users are also able to connect things like Shopify as well. So really with an aim to have one dashboard, one analytics tool where you can see all of your sales channels in one place. Like that's the kind of view we have. These connectors to different marketplaces we expect to grow. In 2021, we have a pretty aggressive connectivity list. So we're going to tick off even more marketplaces this year around the world.
That's amazing. So yes, you are targeting not early advanced Amazon sellers, but general e-commerce sellers. I guess your product is more for like advanced sellers, right?
Yeah, and we also find that, in the US, sophisticated Amazon sellers might sell on eBay as well. A large portion of Amazon sellers also sell on Walmart in the US, as an example. So it's accommodating, yes, the sophisticated Amazon seller that is also cross-platform and cross-border. So it's really to help them get closer to the data without having to log in everywhere, multiple times a day, etc.
All right, so let's see how all the dots are connected in your software and your user interface. And let's jump to the screen and see how Merchant Spring works.
Yeah, so I'm just going to share. So what I've got on screen here, Augustus, is our demo account. So really what I'm showing here is the first screen. So once the user logs in, they are presented with this screen, which we call the overview screen. This is made up of a number of different widgets. So in this demo example, there's, I think, six different marketplaces from around the world connected, right? So you've got a Amazon US, an eBay US, eBay UK, and Amazon Australia, and I think also a eBay Australia. So just as an example. So from the high level, the software actually, gives you a snapshot, if you will, a real-time snapshot that's regularly updated of different metrics and different components of each store. So you've got a bit of a sales performance overview, a sales mix, a breakdown of, what stores are contributing what level of revenue to your business, a bit of an overview of what stores are doing what level of revenue at a store-by-store basis, account health for all your stores connected. Then it kind of turns into more analytical stuff, still at a high level. So you can get, average sales per day, broken down by days of the week, broken down by store. Bit of an operational lens here as well. You can see overdue orders, top performing products. Again, more analytic stuff. So, a sales trend projector based on your past performance to give you a feel of where you're at and how you're tracking during the current week of trade. More operational stuff, so inventory status and dispatch status. Now, this, our users commonly use this screen because, they're busy, they've got multiple accounts on the go. They're not able to deep dive all the time. So our typical user's behavior is they log in 2 to 3 times a day, they come to this screen, they look at everything and, just to almost like to sanity check themselves that everything is okay, right? So this is the, high level quick check of what's going on. Now, beyond this, the tool can also drill down into each one of the stores, right? So as an example, I'm just going to click on this Amazon store here. So this allows me to drill down further into one of the specific Amazon stores that's connected. Now, just to add in here, users of our platform are able to connect theoretically as many stores as they'd like. We have a couple of users in the US that have well over 200 stores connected from all marketplaces around the world. So it's possible to drill down for 200 different stores. But yeah, in this instance, I've drilled down to a Amazon US store, which then cuts out the noise, and I'm very much focused on this peripherals Inc. in this case. So I get a similar widget set, but now slightly more geared towards Amazon. So what I was showing before at an overview level is more harmonized across different marketplaces. So now I'm getting sales performance, which you saw before, which I can also flick between, sales, orders, average order value, etc. I can see my account health, which now is more harmonized. Like before it was just like red light, yellow light, green light. Now it's more, got the details that are more Amazon specific, right? So, so users can keep their finger on the button when it comes to that type of thing. Then it starts to move even further down into Amazon world, where we're now talking about buy box win rates, giving you a bit of a visual indicator of your buy box, that the trending your win rate and how it's trending. Then a breakdown across your range about, where are you losing, who you're losing to, you're winning, losing to Amazon, losing to other sellers, etc. So it starts to get more and more detailed. Then the widgets graduate into, sales by category, top performing products, the sales trends specifically for this store, more operational stuff, dispatch status, etc. Then it kind of finishes up with even more analytics, which is worst sellers, sales by brand, etc. Now, these widgets here, which are store specific, as I mentioned before, you can drill down even further. So for example, if I wanted to see, sales by brand here, in this case, I can get a breakdown within my Amazon store. I can see that Home Hero is contributing this much this period, Sullivan's is contributing this much. So the whole idea is for sellers to get a very, very quick grasp of the store without having to export reports and, deal with all these Excels and stuff. So a lot of the efficiency we like to give our sellers and what they like is all this stuff is out of the box. So there's no custom configuration. It's literally connect, integrate, and then you can use it like I'm showing you today. Now, I could go through every single one of these insights on the left, Augustus, but I think we'd be here for days. So I'll just, I'll quickly flick through these, but essentially what's on the left here is the detailed version of what I showed on this overview screen here. So you can actually access all of these by hitting view all, and you go into the even more detail. Now, as I said before, I've gone from like the overview of all the stores down into a specific store. And then up, so what I'm showing now is even a layer even further deeper, which is as an example, the buy box functionality here. So, what you can do here is you can filter by who you're losing the buy box to, like, for example, losing to other sellers, right? This then gives you a very quick view of which products are losing to other sellers. You can change your price and so on. So a lot of the functionality, a lot of the insights here on the left menu do have a workspace. As an example, we're releasing next week our Amazon advertising functionality, which actually has a similar deep dive workspace where you can get custom reports and see what's really going on. Now, just to cap off the detailed page, everything on this page is also customizable by currency. So you can change it to your local currency as well. And then the data is also customizable to particular periods of your choice. And you can even select, custom date range here, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of flexibility that we've built into the tool, and it's designed, it's not designed to be like a scientific measurement tool. It's really, how do you get a quick, efficient grasp of all your stores and what's happening literally around, around your world of e-commerce selling without taking up half your day. Now, I'll pause there before going on to doing the same thing for eBay. Augustus, did you have any questions you think your viewers might want to know?
Yes, I was. It's good that you have different currencies in your interface, but how do you deal with VAT in Europe or in other countries? There are other taxes.
Yeah,
do you show it? Do you calculate? Can we see it?
Currently, the numbers you're seeing here is exactly what Amazon provides via API, which is literally the growth, the actual selling price, right? In terms of other financial metrics, if you want to call it that, we're currently working on a profitability component, which we expect to be released this quarter. And that would incorporate elements like, in Australia to be GST, in Europe VAT, in the US, etc. So not right now, but through popular demand, we're going to have to build it. So I'll just quickly go into an eBay store as well. So eBay, now I know not everyone sells on eBay as well as Amazon, but eBay is slightly different to the Amazon functionality I showed before. So you still get the same, custom date range, change your currency, maybe let's just change it to pounds in this instance. You get the health, the sales performance, top performing products, sales trend, etc. But where it differs with eBay is our tool starts to assess your content quality. So it's actually telling you, hey, James, guess what? Your listings don't have a great content quality. Actually, your score is 63%. And that's very interesting because for eBay, especially from an SEO perspective, content is probably one of the key levers that sellers have at their disposal to impact, their sales. So let's just quickly drill down into this. So if I was a seller on eBay, just want to know a bit more about what that really means. So in this case, the tool has given the seller a 63% listing quality score. So what that means is the score is based on different elements of the eBay listing. So that's title length, description, item specifics, which is really product attributes, images, free shipping, etc. So where it's given 100%, it's really saying, what you've got is good. Where it's given in this case, the title is 63%. It's saying, yeah, you've done an okay job. Maybe they're too short. Images, it's basically saying none of the products have more than 4 images. So it's really to, again, give a very efficient snapshot of what the seller needs to improve content-wise. We also use, it's a combination of feedback from sellers, eBay's guidance to tell, to give this visual indicator to sellers like what's good and what they could be doing better. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what? The tool tells you the content needs improvement, but how do you actually change it? So actually, we do 2 things. Firstly, we provide what are your top listings that you should improve. So the tool actually selects these based on a number of things, but mainly it's traffic, right? So it's basically saying that these listings have high statistical potential, meaning that they should be optimized for SEO because they probably have relatively good conversion rates, but they don't have great impressions, right? So, maybe people will buy them if they can find them. So the tool's saying, pick these because statistically there's a good chance that sell if you optimize them. So yeah, if you were wanting to optimize, our tool also supports the ability to optimize the listings directly from within the tool. So again, this is kind of going on the theme of drilling down further and further into the tool. So I've gone from my listing quality and now I've gone into the actual optimization section. So here, for the sake of the demo, it's saying I'm selling water filters and I just want to view my listings there. And here you can see all the filters that I'm supposedly selling, and I can go ahead and optimize the product attributes as an example. So it's saying, I've got 48% of my attributes are missing for these products, and I can go away and, optimize here, and I can sync directly to eBay and off I go. So really it's the tool in an eBay world is really saying, yes, here's your performance. Yes, here's your top sellers, worst sellers, etc. But by the way, here's some improvements you should do. And by the way, here's a way you can improve it. So it's really trying to help the seller drive, get an efficient grasp of what's happening, but also everything we do is designed to help people drive more sales out of their platform. There's a couple more things I do want to show. So before we get into the kind of what's the future hold for Merchant Spring, I wanted to show some of the other features. So right now there is a notification center, which really gives you some interesting insights that you may or may not know. So the tool will tell you, you've got a new sales record, or most of your shoppers live in the USA. 12% of your sales are cross-border. Your inventory availability is 59% across all your platforms. Tuesday is the best sales day of the week. So it'll, in an elementary way, it'll also talk to you and tell you like what's going on and what's interesting. I mean, for some sellers, this is important because maybe there's specific targeting with their off-platform advertising that they need to focus on, or maybe they want to get more sellers from outside the USA. Maybe they need to increase their inventory. So and we're evolving this notification center to become more, deeper and giving the seller more actionable insights to, take away and turn into more sales. Now, just to cap off, I wanted to cover off we talked earlier about all the marketplaces that we connect to. And as I said, I think it's over 100. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of these individually, but as I scroll through here, I think it's pretty clear that there's a fair few that it can connect to. And in addition to that, like I said before, we've obviously got Amazon global connector as well. So literally anything around the world. We have eBay, we have Walmart and Shopify. Now, because Augustus, I know a lot of your viewers are Amazon sellers, the Amazon authentication that we actually use, it's not the clunky one where you have to kind of, get the software developers dev ID and then plug it in and do all that. We actually use the latest SP API. Now, I'm not sure if that means anything to anyone, but all that means is we use an OAuth flow. So you just click on this Amazon button, select your channel, select your market, and then it just asks you to log into Amazon, authenticate, and boom, off you go. And then in 10 minutes later, it's, all your data is synced. So we've evolve that, or we're evolving the tool constantly to make it as low friction as possible. So yeah, that really caps off the product at a high level. I mean, I think its purpose is, and most, like I said, most of our users get the most value out of it by having multiple channels connected to it. That's either multiple Amazons around the world, or a multitude of different platforms, and it allows them to get a detailed grip very quickly.
Could we now take an overview of the pricing, because it's very interesting for these multi-channel sellers, and how is it affected by different countries, different marketplaces, Amazon, eBay, and so on?
Really, our pricing is broken into a couple of components. So we've got basic, standard, enterprise, and an agency level. Now, really, almost all the features are available to all of the plans, meaning you get access to the ability to use any of the connectors as well. So you have global connectivity. The reason why the main difference between the plans is just the amount of stores you can connect, right? So just practically speaking, the more stores that are connected to our software, the more it costs from a cost perspective to compute all of the stuff on servers and so on. So, but yeah, we don't really hold back with feature availability, to be honest with you. It's just however many stores, and really, there's obviously a big gap between enterprise and agency. So really, we are flexible. There are users that don't have 12, but also don't have 100. They've maybe got 25 or 50. So really, it's the increment based on that.
And
does that make sense?
Yes, but could you please define what is a store?
Yeah, so a store in our language down in Australia, it's one store would mean one Seller Central or one eBay account or one Walmart seller account. So that's the definition of that.
Oh, okay. So if Amazon seller operates in North America, in Canada, US, and in Europe, in 5 or 6 countries, it means 2 stores, right? Because it's 2 seller centrals.
Well, it depends how that authenticates. So on one hand, yes, but if they authenticated, 6 separate seller centrals via the authentication, then that would be considered 6 stores in Aussie language. But yeah, it depends how you choose to authenticate across your marketplaces. Now, just on that connectivity thing I was mentioning before, if you do connect let's say a North America one, right, a US one, it'll ask you, oh, by the way, do you want to connect your Canada and Mexico? And then you can tick, all 3, like you said, and then connect them all at once. So it depends. We see some sellers that actually have just very, segregated seller centrals.
All right. So now we have an overview of Merchant Spring. We know the pricing. And could you give us more some kind of reveal? What kind of features are you planning to introduce to your users? You already mentioned that there will be a profit tool soon and Amazon advertising unit. What else?
Yeah, so we've actually got so many things on the roadmap, and it's always changing, and because it's defined obviously by our users, right, which we like to keep very close to. So yeah, like I said before, profit is coming up. And we've got a pool of pilot users that are helping us define that, for different reasons like Europe, US, Asia Pacific, etc. And then we've got advertising. So we actually have been rigorously testing our advertising functionality, and that's because it's using the latest advertising API, which gives you access to advertising data for all the different ad types like sponsored brand video, etc. All that kind of stuff. And I think some tools, for example, are still trying to adopt some of the latest advertising data via the latest API. So that's coming out. It was meant to be today, to be honest with you, but it's been pushed back to next week because of further testing. The thing after that is we're actually thinking about more connectors, right? So this is to support our cross-border strategy. So that includes connectors like in Southeast Asia. I mean, there's a big opportunity there for things like Lazada and Shopee. Lazada, for example, behaves very much like Amazon where they're having, their native fulfillment by Lazada. So it's something that some Amazon sellers have expressed interest in because their skills and expertise are kind of reusable on platforms like that. And then, without going into too much detail, the last thing we're thinking about is an optimization interface. So obviously I demoed it for eBay for your viewers, but we're thinking about harmonizing that for Amazon, and how do we take it to the next level? Because we know that we've spoken to a lot of sellers that, own their own brand, and they're very concerned with having the titles and descriptions and, the A+ content and all that stuff done in a particular way. And I think we have the ability to actually assess that programmatically. And I think it can add a lot of value to our users and probably to your viewers as well. So, I mean, I don't want to go on too long, but that's the bit of a teaser as to what's coming very, very soon.
Great. And you already mentioned that your company is in Australia, but of course you serve customers around the world. What about the support? Do you have support 24 hours every day, or how does it work?
Yeah, so we actually have, yes, we're based in Australia, but we have team members spread throughout the world. So, it's really Melbourne. We've got team members in the US, actually on the East Coast in New York. And then we have team members in Asia. And now the support coverage is, I would say, 24, probably 22 hours a day, somebody is able to respond. And we pride ourselves. I was looking at the stats the other day. I think our average response time is 47 minutes. So, we try and cover most of the globe. And if it's not one of the team, then we've actually got 3 dedicated clients, customer success managers. If it's not one of them, it's one of the co-founders. So, we customer first really over here.
Amazing. So everything sounds very interesting, and I do hope that some Amazon sellers will be inspired to expand their products, to spread them across the globe and to use your software. Those who are listening, you will find the link to Merchant Spring below. And of course, I would like to ask if there is any kind of special offer for Orange Klik listeners. Yeah,
of course. So we actually have a 50% off offer for Orange Klik listeners, and I think you've provided the details via that link, Augustus. But everyone listening in, coming through Orange Klik will get 50% off any of the plans, actually.
And is it for the first month or a lifetime?
Yeah, it's first 3 months, actually.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much, James. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and a pleasure to introduce a little bit different tool for Amazon sellers. And I hope it will be useful. Thank you very much, and good luck in your business. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to try Merchant Spring, check the links below in the description. There is a great offer, 50% off for the first 3 months if you want to try this software. And now I would like to invite you to watch other video we recorded with James about selling globally, being an e-commerce seller beyond Amazon. And there we discuss also some interesting options which you might want to consider, some other platforms which have fulfillment services similar to FBA.